The original Macintosh was released on this day in 1984, 40 years ago in fact. Now, I could do a long expose or some sort of documentary on the original Macintosh, but that's been done to death, and I'm sure everybody is releasing one of those today. So instead, I'm going to tell you about my first classic Macintosh, which is basically this machine. Believe it or not, in a roundabout way, the original 128K Mac was my introduction into the vintage computer scene. Sort of, kind of. Now, it wasn't really my first vintage computer. That was a TRS-80 Model 1, and then I got a couple of Apple IIs, but my first, I don't know, machine I collected, so to speak, for the purposes of collecting was a Mac Plus, basically, that was given to me by my cousin. I found out, like, many years later that this machine was actually a Mac 128 that had been upgraded to a Plus through its normal process. Kept it over here in my collection for the longest time, didn't really do anything with it until, I don't know, about 6 months ago. I got this bug in my head. I want to upgrade this machine, or really return this machine back to its original specs. And the reason is because on the bottom of it, or where the serial number is, it has a March 1984 serial number. So I kind of got on the hunt. I wanted to basically get a replacement back shell to put on it, and then an original 128K board to go into this machine. What I ended up doing, though, is that I got the board. My friend Frodo Jedi, Frank, found me a classic 128 board that was completely unmodified. Just an original board. So that got solved pretty quickly. But then the back shell was the problem. Trying to find a 128K back shell that just says Macintosh on the back and not Macintosh 128K, i.e. an original first-run shell, was very, very, very difficult. But another community member whose name escapes me at the moment, if I figure out who it is, it'll be down here at the bottom, put me onto a full 128 that was on sale in Canada, of all places, for an incredibly good deal. So I picked that machine up, got it shipped here to me in Ohio, and lo and behold, it had been, I don't know what you want to call it, aftermarket upgraded to be effectively a Plus. It has all these weird greebly boards and stuff added to an original 128 board to make it effectively a Plus. But the external shell, the entire external shell was an original 128. And even better, its serial number was from February of 1984. So it was even older than my upgraded 128. So I was able to get the board from Frank, do some repairs to that board. So let's see if I got this 128K Mac all fixed and working. Had a couple bad traces under the CPU. I had to yank that up and resocket the CPU to get that to work. So we will see if this fixed the problem. 3, 2, 1. Ha ha ha! Install it in the machine and restore that 128 back to its original status, which is really cool. But the problem is that when that machine was upgraded by whoever that was that upgraded that machine, they replaced the entire floppy drive frame and 400K floppy drive with an 800K, again, to make it a Macintosh Plus compatible kind of setup. My friend Adam McGowie was able to supply me with a 400K drive and drive frame to put in this machine, so it is now 100% complete. Now, you could say that it's not an original 128K, or this and that and the other, but it's about as close as I'm going to get, and you know, it holds a little special place in my heart. And the reason is, this machine is one of the most important and influential computers ever released in the computer industry. It completely changed everything. One individual, well-designed, put-together package, looks nice, works well, and it had the first real commercial introduction of the graphical user interface in the mouse. You cannot underestimate the importance of this machine. So today, we say happy birthday to the Macintosh 128 and the entire Macintosh line. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today for the anniversary of the original Mac. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on my latest adventures. You can support me over on Patreon at Joe's Computer Museum, or you can go to jcm-1.com to get some merch or some other cool upgrades for your classic Macs and Apple IIs. Links in the description. Well, that's all for today's episode. While you're here, check out some of my other videos, and remember, one classic Mac is all you need.